Hi, today we're working on metric to metric conversions, and I'm going to show you a really simple way to use King Henry and always get your metric to metric conversions right. No fancy exponents or other memorization involved. So our problem today is we are going to convert 0.0378 meters into micrometers, and you might have forgotten what the relationship between those two is, so here's where we use our mnemonic. Big King Henry died by drinking chocolate milk, too moldy, too nasty. And what that gives us is a clue to remember all of our prefixes that you memorize along with that. So here we have our prefixes that you'll want to memorize. Kilo, hecta, deca, base, which is going to be our grams, meters, liters, or other units down the road, deci, centi, milli, micro with the O on the end to match the O in moldy, and then nano. So now we have our metric prefixes, and we can come and use those in two different ways to solve our problem down below. So option number one is to slide the decimal. So what we mean by that is we are going to look at our two units. We have 0.0378 meters, and we're converting that to micrometers. So I come up here and I find meters at my base, and I find micro over here. Okay, and this is right now 0.0378 meters, and I want to convert that over here to micrometers. So if I follow my units, I'm going to have to move 1, 2, 3, and this is where the two placeholders come in. They tell me that I go 4, 5, 6. So each of those two placeholders is a place that I need to count through. So I've moved the decimal over 6 places here to get to micro, and so on my number, here's what that looks like. Find my decimal, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to the right, and that means that my answer is here, 37,800 micrometers, or if I put that in scientific notation, 3.78 times 10 to the fourth micrometers. So just to recap that one more time, I found my meters here, I found micrometers that I was moving to, and I slid the decimal 6 places over to the right, and that gave me my final answer. So that was option one. Option two is unit conversion, and so what we mean by that is we're going to build a conversion from the prefixes up on top. So again, I come back to my problem, 0.0378 meters to micrometers. So meters being my base unit here, micro being what I'm trying to get to. When I build this conversion, I always let the bigger unit, and remember big King Henry, so the unit to the left, that's going to be 1. So my conversion is 1 meter. And how does that relate to micro? Well, I add zeros. 1, 2, 3, 2 placeholders there, each add a 0, and then micro. So I have 1 followed by 6 zeros. Or another way I could write that, 1 times 10 to the 6th micrometers. So without having to memorize that exponent, I've got it right there as long as I can remember King Henry and all the prefixes that go with it. So again, I found my meters, I found my micrometers. The larger unit, the one to the left, is always 1, and then I add zeros as I move to the right. So it's always going to be positive exponents that you see in these conversions. So let's go to the next page and finish up that calculation. So I write my given down, 0.0378 meters, and then I put my 1 meter in the denominator so that my meters will cancel, and I have 1 times 10 to the 6th micrometers in the numerator, and that gives me my answer, which is 37,800 micrometers, or 3.78 times 10 to the fourth micrometers. Same answer that I got by sliding the decimal. But we'll find that this method is a little bit more useful if you need this specific conversion factor to add in as a piece of a multi-step problem. So just to remind you, you're going to go home, you're going to memorize down here, Big King Henry died by drinking chocolate milk, too moldy, as in micro, too nasty.